Have you ever heard of nutritional yeast flakes? If you have spent any time looking at plant-based recipes or vegan recipes, you've probably seen it in the ingredient list. Or maybe you've had some friends who have told you you should try it because it's really good. Well, today I want to share with you some of my favorite recipes that call for nutritional yeast flakes, and I want to share with you why it's good for you. Because to have a combination of nutritional supplement and all-purpose seasoning that tastes great is the most amazing thing to add to your diet. You're going to want to give it a whirl. Let's start off with the fact that nutritional yeast flakes has 4 to 5 grams of protein for just 2 tablespoons. That's a lot in just a small quantity. So if you can just add 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast flakes to your diet for the day, then you've given a boost to your protein. An important thing to know about the protein in nutritional yeast flakes is it's got all 9 amino acids, so it's a complete protein, which is not common in the plant-based world. It's also high in fiber, which is lacking in a lot of American diets. But one of the most important things about nutritional yeast is it's high in B vitamins. Did you know that B vitamins were called your happy vitamins? Nutritional yeast flakes has 630% of the B12 you need for the day. That's great for us as plant-based and vegans. When they tell us we need a supplement, all we need to do is eat the delicious nutritional yeast flakes. It also has 90% of the folate that we need, which is an important nutrient for all people. It also has 420% of the B6 that we need for the day, another vitamin that a lot of people do not get. And B6 is crucial for immune system, our brain health, and protein metabolization. And if that's not enough to convince you, it's filled with antioxidants. Just to be clear, baking yeast, nutritional yeast, and brewer's yeast are all totally different things. They are cousins, but they're totally different. I remember when I was at a school and they had made a big batch of vegan cheesy sauce to serve for lunch that day. And someone who was new to the kitchen had made it, and they went into the refrigerator, they opened that refrigerator up, and they saw this container of cheesy sauce just bubbling and oozing all over the fridge, and it made just such a huge mess because the person who made it used baking yeast instead of nutritional yeast. Baking yeast is active and it grows, and that's how you make your bread fluffy. But nutritional yeast does not grow like that. It's deactivated. Buy it in a powder or in flakes, but most recipes call for flakes. The powder is very concentrated, and so you have to change up your recipes if you're going to buy the powder. Back in the day when I first started to cook vegan, I couldn't find nutritional yeast in my grocery store or any place, so I had to order it from a special co-op. Nowadays you can just order it online, or you can find it in most grocery stores. Sometimes it's with your nutritional supplements, and sometimes it's just with your seasonings. I do find that it's cheaper if you order it online. So let's get started with using our nutritional yeast flakes. I want to show you one thing that everybody gets wrong. Everybody you see tells you to put nutritional yeast flakes on your popcorn, and that's great. But they just take the flakes and sprinkle it on their popcorn. And that's just not good because the flakes don't stick. You tell me in the comments below if you've tried nutritional yeast flakes on your popcorn and all the flakes just ended up at the bottom of the bowl, and so you end up scraping the bottom of the bowl to get your nutritional yeast flakes. What you need to do is get one of these spice blenders. This is going to help you make the best popcorn seasoning. What you can do is put in your yeast flakes and some salt. You blend that up, and then you put it into a shaker like this, and you have a perfect popcorn seasoning ready to go whenever you need it. You can also add some other things to it, like lemon pepper and some dill for a lemony dill popcorn. You can put in some of the ranch seasoning that we use for like a ranch popcorn, a cheesy ranch popcorn. It's so good. So you're definitely going to want to try that. But blending it, it's the trick because it sticks to the popcorn. It won't fall to the bottom of the bowl. My family likes to spread their toast with plant butter and sprinkle on some nutritional yeast flakes, and we call that popcorn toast because it tastes like our popcorn seasoning, and we eat that for breakfast. We get our B vitamins, our happy vitamins for the day, and it's really a great way to eat your yeast flakes. My husband likes to add yeast flakes to his salad because that adds an additional protein. So if you put in yeast flakes and some beans or maybe some nuts, you've got almost 10 grams of protein in a salad, and it'll keep you full longer than just eating a plain salad, and add a nice cheesy flavor. You can make a delicious roasted potato and put some yeast flakes on there so it gives a nice cheesy or savory flavor to your potatoes. That is fantastic. When I say this seasoning is all-purpose, I mean it's all-purpose. It's always in my scrambled tofu. I also add it to this delicious potato corn chowder that is so good. I will put a whole bunch of links in the description box below for these recipes that I'm talking about so that you can try it at home. And while you're down there looking at that description box, why don't you click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get more of these delicious recipes that are get you healthy and make you live longer. I also have delicious Alfredo sauce, which I'll link down below. I replaced the Parmesan cheese in the Alfredo sauce with nutritional yeast flakes, and it's delicious. I make this corn chowder all the time, especially when I'm catering, and people just love it. It also has nutritional yeast flakes. My holiday gravy calls for nutritional yeast flakes. Whether you want to go completely plant-based or completely vegan, or whether you just want to get some more plant-based recipes, it's totally worth it to buy nutritional yeast flakes, just for the nutritional value alone, but it also tastes so good. One of the most common places that you're going to see nutritional yeast flakes is in cheesy sauces. So this is our family favorite cheesy sauce. To make the Rotel cheesy queso sauce, we need to start with some cashews. You don't need to worry about soaking those overnight or even for a couple hours. Just put them right into the blender, they'll be fine. We also need to add some nutritional yeast flakes, some cornstarch, some onion and garlic powder, salt, lemon juice, and coriander, and the pimentos. I like to buy a whole big can of pimentos, and then I will freeze them in half-cup portions so that I can use them in my recipes. Most of my recipes call for a half a cup. So this is a half a cup of pimentos that I have frozen and thawed. You don't really have to thaw them. You can just dump them right in if you want. The ingredient to this recipe is vegan Parmesan cheese. I only add about 3 tablespoons to give a little bit of a cheesy flavor. So I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of the Parmesan cheese. And some water. And we're only going to use about half of our water here. We'll use the rest of the water to clean out the blender later. And then we are going to blend that till it's smooth. This is going to take a couple minutes to blend, so we're going to cut here and we will come back in a minute. One thing I like to do to check and make sure that my cashew sauce is creamy enough is I stick a spoon in there, and if I look at the back of the spoon and I see chunks like that, then I know I need to blend a little bit longer. So let's let it go for a few more minutes. Spoon is wet. Yeah, that's much better. Let's go ahead and then I'm going to put the rest of the water. Now the recipe called for 2.5 cups. That was 2 cups. So I'm going to put the rest of the water in here. And then I'm going to just blend this one more time real quick. And then I'll clean out all the rest of the blender. Oops. There we go. I'm going to cook this over the stove until it's thick. Okay, you can see it's starting to boil. Once it starts to boil, you want it to boil for about a minute so you can cook that cornstarch and make sure that it doesn't have a pasty taste to it. So let's let that keep going. Okay, that looks great. Let's go ahead and add our Rotel tomatoes. This is what makes it spicy. I'll add about 1/3 to half a can of the Rotel tomatoes. If you like it super spicy, you can go ahead and add the whole can. We like to add the juice and all. That makes it a nice cheese sauce. So we're going to stir that together. And there you have your beautiful cheesy queso sauce. This time when I was making it into a dip, so I added the Rotel tomatoes, but you don't have to do that. You can also just leave it without that and put it into a grilled cheese sandwich, which is surprisingly fantastic. And you can also make a quick macaroni and cheese by just cooking up some pasta and adding the cheesy sauce. You can put it as a sauce over broccoli or maybe over a chili potato. It is so good. This cheesy sauce is almost as versatile as yeast flakes themselves. I've really only scratched the surface on how to use nutritional yeast flakes. If you want more recipes and more ideas on how to eat healthier and how to use nutritional yeast flakes, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. And I'd really love to hear from you. Have you tried it before? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you have a favorite way to use nutritional yeast flakes? Let me know in the comments below.